Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Laura, for those of you that do not know, and today I am back with another recommendations video for books because you guys have been asking. Obviously I'm gonna do it. Today I decided I just wanted to talk about my all-time favorite romance books. I have a lot to share with you guys, but I thought that this would be a good video for those of you that are always asking me for a recommendation or what my favorite book is, and so I wanted to have just one big video talking about all of my favorite romance books. This isn't all of my favorite books, period, but just my favorite romance books. A lot of them are series, some of them are standalones. Overall, I have 16 things to tell you guys today, so I'm not going to go into extreme detail about all of the books. However, I will give you a small gist of what it's about. So yeah, these are going to be my favorite romance books of all time, and I hope you'll find at least one new book to read from this list. If you've read all of them, you're amazing and fantastic, and I can give you more recommendations in a follow-up video. However, for now, I'm just gonna get into it. Okay, the first one should not come as a surprise at all, but that is the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I'm absolutely obsessed with the series. There is 4 books. There's also a spin-off series, and there's 2 books so far in that series. I believe there's going to be 3 overall. This is a college-based romance series. I'm obsessed with it. There's so many great characters. It's companion novels, so all of the books are about different couples, and I love all of them so much. My favorite is book 3, The Score, but yeah, I'm obsessed. If you have not read this series yet, I highly recommend it. It's so good. Another series, just to kind of knock it off the list already, is After, obviously by Anna Todd. If you've not heard me talk about After, I'm sure you're new to my channel, but if you've not read it, it's a fantastic, another college-based romance series. Super crazy, lots of drama, twists and turns. Yeah, lots of stuff going on in that series. There's 4 books, there's spin-offs, a whole ordeal of books, so it's definitely a lot of reading. If you're looking for something to like really get into, I recommend After. But if you haven't read it already, I'm really shocked, so go read it if you haven't. Another series that I talk about all the time, but I feel like no one ever goes and reads, like, go read it so we can talk about it, please, is the Seabreeze series by Abby Glines. This consists of 9 books that are all companion novels, except for 2, which are about the same couple. The rest are all about different couples. And I love this series so much. The first book is called Breathe, and it takes place on this like island town in Alabama, and it's like this friend group and their lives, and they're all really cute romance books, and I'm obsessed with every single couple in that series. There is not one bad book in my opinion, and they're such fast-paced reads, like so quick to get through. I'm obsessed with them. You guys know I'm like Abby Glines' biggest supporter ever, so if you've not read that series, please go read it. It's so good. It's new adult. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. I feel like so many of these are series, but I mean, it's good because then there's more than 16 recommendations. But my next series book recommendation is Did I Mention I Love You by Estelle Mascom. This is another series that I talk about all the time, and I have been for years. This is a young adult romance series, however, it's not new adult, but it is still so good. The first book takes place in California. It's super like summery, beachy vibes, and I feel like we're really getting into that right now, at least like in the West. So if you're into that, I definitely recommend it for summer. This series is a little crazy. It's about a girl that falls for her stepbrother, which sounds controversial, but it's not, and it's really good. If you've not read Dimly yet, don't know what you're doing. It's fantastic, and I highly recommend it. So yes. Next, I want to recommend you guys my top 3 favorite Colleen Hoover books. If you guys don't know, Colleen Hoover probably is my favorite author, favorite writer. All of her books I just love so much, and not to mention I just love Colleen Hoover. I think she's hilarious and like the sweetest woman in the world, I think. Yeah, I love her so much. So my top 3 favorites from her are Hopeless, Maybe Someday, and All Your Perfects. I love those so much. However, I recommend basically all of her books except for Without Merit. That one I don't like. All of her other books I'm obsessed with and love so much, so I highly recommend all of them. If you haven't read anything from her, that's definitely a good place to start for like higher level romance that's not like young adult. So yeah, if you haven't read any Colleen Hoover, I suggest you get on that, but those 3 are definitely my favorites. They're all so good. Her books have a way of just capturing your attention. They always have crazy stuff going on, the plot twists that you would never expect, and they're all really good. So highly recommend her. My next recommendation is Stuck Up Suit by V. Keelan. This is a fantastic adult romance book. Not to mention that all of V. Keelan's books are so good. Like, I recommend all of them if I'm being honest, but Stuck Up Suit is definitely my favorite. I love the characters in this one. She is is another author that always throws in like a crazy twist and turn in her stories that you would never expect. The back of the book that you like read is never what you're gonna get in like the whole book, which I think is like my favorite thing about her books. It's always something that you would never expect. So I really love all of her books. However, Stuck Up Suit is a really, really cute one that I love so much, and a lot of crazy stuff goes on in it, so I recommend that one. Again, I'm gonna try and like link the Goodreads links for these down below, so if any of these like spark your interest a little bit, you can go read the like synopsis. But yeah, really recommend all of her books. Stuck Up Suit though is my favorite. Next series is the Wait For You series by J. Lynn. This is another really good college-based romance series. The first one is especially really, really good. I like the second and third as well, and I haven't read the rest of the series if I'm being honest, but the first book I just recommend, like even if you just wanted to read one, you could just read the first book, and the rest are like companion novels, so about different characters. But the first one is so, so good. Not only is it an adorable romance, but it deals with a lot of other deep issues. However, a lot of these books do as well. So this book specifically though, I really loved. It had so many great aspects to it, and I know I feel like I'm saying the same thing for every book, but they're just all my favorites, and obviously I'm gonna hype them all up. But this one's really good, and the main guy character is so swoon-worthy. I promise you will fall in love with Cam. He's so cute, so I recommend it. Oh, this next series I'm absolutely obsessed with. This is the Stage Dive series by Kylie Scott. This is a super fun series, and there's also a spin-off series. There's 4 books in the Stage Dive series, and they are all companion novels about boys that are in a band. So the first one is about this guitarist, and he goes to Vegas, meets this girl. She wakes up the next morning and she's like, who is this guy? Like, what's going on? Turns out they got married and they don't remember it. And that's like the start of the series. It's like such a like, okay, like we're going off from here, I guess. And it's just so crazy and fun. The third book, however, is my favorite with Jimmy, my boy. But the first and all of the other ones are really good as well. Super fun and wild, but yeah, the synopsis alone is so funny, and I'm a sucker for books where like one of the characters is famous, which I want to make a whole video based around that concept. But yeah, I really like this series a lot. It's so good. And the spin-off series as well, which is called, what's it called? This one's the Stage Dive, and that one's the Dive Bar series. That's the spin-off series. It's really good too, so I recommend both of those. Oh, next one is another kind of controversial one, and that is Stepbrother Dearest by Penelope Ward, I think it is, not Douglas. Penelope Ward. I get those two authors confused. Yeah, I think it's Penelope Ward that wrote this one. And this is a book about a girl who falls for her stepbrother. This one has like a similar vibe to Dimly, however, it's new adult romance, so it's a lot more like scandalous, and it's really, really good. Like, I did not expect anything from this book, if I'm being completely honest. And I read it and I fell in love with the main characters. It takes place like once when they're 17 years old, I think, and then it like fast forwards 7 years later in their 20s. That brings them back together. It's so good. I really recommend it, and everybody that I've recommended it to has been like, I don't know, like this sounds weird, and then they read it and they're obsessed. So I swear you're gonna like it. It's really good. And yeah, me bullying people to read my favorite books for 10 minutes straight, I think. Oh, the next one should not come as a shocker at all. It is my favorite romance book of all time. Should have started out with this one, but we just didn't, and that is Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Mcguire. You guys may or may not know, Travis Maddox, my favorite book boyfriend, is in this book. I love him so much. He's everything. If you like Hardin, he's like, I don't want to say this, people are gonna get so mad. He's like a sweeter, softer, but still badass version of Hardin who doesn't get in fights with his girlfriend as much. I don't know, like he has the Hardin vibe, but he's just better in my opinion. I just love Travis with everything I have, and if you like After, you'll probably like Beautiful Disaster. But it's definitely a different plot. It does take place in college, but it's a little different. I really like it. Travis is a fighter, an underground fighter, so that's pretty hot. I just love that book. It's literally my favorite, so if you haven't read it yet, please read it so we can talk about it and fangirl, because I'm obsessed. Oh, next we have some more YA books. This next one is a series, the Field Party series, also by Abby Glines. This one is like a high school series about the football players, so like every book follows a different football player and his love interest. And the first book, called Until Friday Night, is one of my favorite books, one of my favorite YA romances. It's so, so good and really unexpectedly like wholesome and like really a wonderful book. Like, it's not super surface level. There's a lot going on in the story that is super deep and really good, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just like a good story, and it's like, I feel like there's a lot of books out there that are super surface level and like only romance. This one definitely delves a little deeper for YA, and I really like it. I like the whole series. There's 4 books out already and they're all really good. So yeah, super fun series. I highly recommend. Next we have 2 Casey West books, which I love Casey West. She's a YA contemporary romance author and she has so many books. I've read all of them and I love them all, but my 2 favorites from her are The Distance Between Us and By Your Side. Both super cute romances and I love them both. They're very different from each other, but genuinely I love all of her books. Like, any of her romance books I would recommend to you. So if you just want to look her up and look into all the different synopsises and find out which one you think sounds the most interesting, I would recommend that to you because I like all of her books, but those 2 just happen to be my favorites. And then the last series on my list is the Lost and Found series by Nicole Williams. This is a super underrated series that I never see anyone talk about, but I'm so obsessed with it. This one is kind of like a good boy, bad girl series, so it's kind of like your swap on the typical bad boy, good girl, which I really like. It is a series, I think there's 5 books in total, 3 about the couple in the first book, and then there's 2 about a different couple. However, I do prefer like the original couple, so keep that in mind. But you can just read the first book. You don't have to continue it. It doesn't like end on a cliffhanger, I don't think. Maybe it does. I don't remember. But you could still read it, just one book. I mean, it's really good. I'm sure you'll want to continue. But it's a super fun series and I love the characters in this one. They're both really fun and it's a different kind of book. I feel like you don't really often see like the bad girl, good boy type of dynamic. So it's a fun one for sure. And I really like the writing. It's really good. So recommend it. So guys, those are going to be my top romance book recommendations for you guys today. I have many more favorite books that are kind of outside of the romance realm or just aren't, like, romance isn't their primary category, but I have a lot of other favorites that I can share with you guys and other romance books that I absolutely love that just didn't make the cut for today's video. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope you'll be able to find a new favorite, hopefully, from it. Let me know if you read any of these and what you think about them. I would love to hear it, even if you hated it. Tell me about it, tweet me. Yeah, it's all good. Thank you guys so much for watching this video though. I hope you will subscribe if you've not already and give the video a thumbs up. Also, in the description, you can check out my Wattpad story. The first chapter has just been posted last week and I've been getting so much wonderful feedback on it. Thank you guys so much for reading it and I'm so happy you guys are enjoying it so far. I will be updating it very soon on Friday, so look out for that. But other than that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye!